Alrighty, welcome everyone. I'm Teeaboo, and I am back for more Retro Monday OVAdrive. We are going to watch episode 2 of Sengoku Kitan Yotoden. Last time we watched episode 1, we had 3 soon-to-be legendary heroes follow the destiny imbued to them by their passed-down weapons of their villages. And they've all met through interesting circumstance and have turned their attention to fighting off the evil invading forces, demonic invading forces, of the terrible warlord and tyrant Oda Nobunaga. And also that one kid who's with him who seems to think that he's just the best. As Nobunaga rides around staring at Buddha statues and exploding them, we know for a fact that he is the embodiment of all things evil. And it doesn't hurt when he sends a bunch of fucking creepy-ass monsters at you and has them attack in all sorts of ways. Yeah, it was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. I'm looking forward to it getting better. I'm looking forward to more cool animation. I'm looking forward to more crazy shit. The thing in the last episode that I think was really nailed out of all of the things that occurred in the last episode was actually the dramatic storytelling. Not what I expected to be nailed. I really thought, like, the monsters are going to be I guess the monsters were pretty good. I really thought that I guess the animation was pretty okay, too. I guess the whole thing was not bad. No, but I kind of came in expecting that the Sakuga and animation was the reason that I'd be here. And I actually found myself pretty solidly compelled by some of the dramatic storytelling and the tragedy that occurs near the end and some of the bits and bobs of it. So I'm kind of hoping for more of that, but if we could buttress that with some slightly better pacing throughout, slightly better flow from scene to scene and character to character and action to not action to like exposition, if we could buff those out a little bit, if we could sand those down and get some of the rough patches out, I feel like the show could be really quite good. And so we'll see if there's been any dramatic improvement or shift or change as we move from the first OVA episode to the second OVA episode. These 3 episodes were produced and came out over the course of a couple of years, so I kind of expect that there might be some different change, shifting, stuff like that. Drawing of the day, I went to Universal City Walk, which is it's like an outdoor mall. It's hard to describe. It's Universal City Walk. It is its own thing. Went there for a friend's birthday celebration, ate at the Toothsome Chocolate Emporium, had a very overpriced but delicious milkshake. It was $16 for a fucking milkshake. It was crazy. But they did have... God, there were the most insane things. Some of our party ended up scraping all the frosting off of the milkshake. It's like a mason jar filled with milkshake, and then it was like 3 inches of frosting just frosted all over it. And then on a number of the milkshakes, they would just take a dessert and put that on top. So if you got like the Rice Krispie treat one, it was that with all the frosting, and then there was a full fucking Rice Krispie this big just on top of the thing, and then a giant glob with something else on top. They were nuts and too much, and oh goodness, too much, way too much. I know that one of my roommates and friends came back and was just in a full food coma. So I guess that's a successful journey to a chocolate emporium, but goodness, not the move, I think. And I've been honestly resettling because I haven't eaten a lot of sugar recently, and I had some sugar yesterday, and it's definitely affected me, and it's got carryover effects until today, and I woke up feeling pretty groggy, but that's the way that it is. Anyway, I drew a scene from outside of that. I stood there for a while and watched people walk by and just observed the folk, the humans, the tourists, and people from all over the place, because you get folks from all over the place. First of all, the diversity that's possible in our nation, especially in large metropolitan areas, is spectacular. It's spectacular. I guess I don't get to see it that often because, to be honest, I live in a suburban town that's not that diverse, like racially, ethnically, people-wise. And so being in the middle of LA and Hollywood and, God, everybody from all walks of life, all sorts from all places, and that's really cool to see. I was, I guess, not surprised, but saddened to see how many people seemed miserable. I always have this experience when I go to theme parks or amusement parks, Disneyland, places like that. It's the contrast of the thing, I think. I'm always very attuned to noticing misery and sadness and difficulty and pain. And gosh golly, there's a lot of that. There are a lot of people who are just barely making it through, and groups of people who are snapping at each other and biting and hateful and resentful, even in this place filled with culture and consumerism and stuff. But there's also the flip side of that, which maybe you have to put more effort into looking for, which is the joy and the excitement and the love that's very much present in a place like that too. It's not as obvious though. A lot of hurt people makes me think. Not super relevant to Yotoden, but I have a tendency and a desire to share, and it's part of what I want to do. I want to share my real life experiences, those that I have, with the audience that I've accrued here. And being in a place like that and seeing so many people was pretty interesting. Very different from seeing all the people grouped up for the metal show, for the concert that I went to a couple of weeks ago. Very different groups, very different types of folks. I thought that was really interesting. It's odd to say, but I felt like a lot of the people who went to the metal show seemed happier. And maybe that's because there was some specific event going on, but I feel like going to a place like that, like City Walk, is an event too. A lot of the people who went to the metal show, despite their demeanor, despite, I'm wearing all black and chains, seemed much happier and much more active and lively and excited and interested and together, and that's interesting to me. I don't know what accounts for that. It could be that, the particular lyrics of the particular songs that Gojira and Mastodon put out are pretty inspirational, and so you get people who are mildly inspired or at least move in that direction. Maybe it's that the broad swath of the American consumer culture is worse off than I thought, and the isolated niches of particularly artistically leaning people are better off than I thought. But I don't know. I can only guess, really. I just know what I observed. And I observed a lot of people who aren't taking care of their bodies, who are hobbling by the time they're 40, who are rough, who are in rough spots. And it reflects to me on potential paths that each of us can walk, that maybe I could walk, that maybe just a little bit of complacency or a little bit of letting yourself go can lead you down a rabbit hole of self-justification and self-destruction. Scary to think that way, maybe? I don't know. Welcome to my meandering mind. We'll hop off of that subject and just say that's where I went, and it was fun. I'll mention there were a couple of other things. The whole restaurant that we went to was all steampunk themed, so all the waiters and waitresses and stuff are all sort of dressed up, and that's pretty cool. There was a lady and a robot who walked around, and they sang happy birthday to people and sang happy birthday to my friend as he was miserable. Just like, do not invite that robot and that lady over to sing happy birthday to me. Nobody do it. And then immediately his niece, I think, went and it was like, hey, it's birthday, come on, just to fuck with him. Lovely woman, all dressed up Victorian-y, semi-steampunky, with like a bustle. I think it's called a bustle. The old school Kim Kardashian style thing, right? Right. The big puffed out dress, and she was going around with a guy in sort of like, he had like arm pieces and a head thing and a speaker on his chest that he was sort of speaking or singing through, and he was the robot, and it was pretty cute. It was very fun to see them come around, and everybody's attention was on her. She was gorgeous, a stunning woman, but everybody's attention was on her throughout the whole audience of the whole. We were on this whole big mezzanine in the restaurant. Everybody's attention was on her, and everybody lit up with smiles as she came around. So that was pretty cool, seeing the impact that performance can have on people. Kind of interesting to see. So that was a highlight. And just being there with people and hanging out was good. I almost didn't go. I had said that I didn't want to go, and I realized as we moved up to the event, within the couple hours leading up to the event, I realized that I was lying to myself, and I wasn't sure why, but I was building up this set of justifications that was like, well, I don't really want to go. I don't really want to see all these people. I don't really want to be outside away from home that far away. I don't want to, like drive with somebody and not have certainty over my way back home. I don't want this. I don't want that. And they were all lies. None of them were true. At least none of them outweighed the desire that I had to just go to the thing. So eventually I decided to go to the thing, and much, much prefer that I did, and I'm very glad that I did. I have to really battle against my reluctance recently. It's gotten stronger, or maybe I've gotten weaker, coming out of being injured and being more reluctant and having legitimate reasons to follow that reluctance and to not do the thing that I might want to do or might be supposed to do or maybe should do in a like moral sense. I'm having to battle that back again and push back against my inertia, my desire to stay still. It's hard. Anyway, that's where I'm at. Happy Monday. These are some of the struggles that present themselves to me as I make my way meanderingly through this strange life thing that you and I are both a part of. Thanks for sharing it with me. Let's watch some weird-ass anime. Yeah, we did the intro. That's a smooth segue. Okay, Yotoden, episode 2. I really don't know what to expect. A lot of my expectations were wrong about the first episode, and I'm excited to see what the second one has in store. I've got it up and ready to go. We got 40 minutes locked in on the clock for watching this thing, and I'm excited for it, honestly. I think it'll be fun. Again, I don't expect great things, but I expect some cool things, and I expect some stuff to look at and enjoy and talk about and have a good time with. So let's go ahead and give it a watch and see if any of those expectations are fulfilled. Oh yeah. All right. Sengoku Kitan Yotoden episode 2. Up and ready to go. Add 0 seconds. 2 versions. Picture-in-picture in the description. Timer on YouTube. Patreon in the description. Beep beep timer to count you down. Let's get into it. Okay. I really like this song immediately. I don't know why. We are dark and city-y. It all starts in a tavern. Sounds about right. That was cool. Alrighty, set those up. The Quiet Doom. I like these flares of light throughout. I like the contrast to this whole sequence. Oh, no! That's different. They're like moth people. Oh! Well. Oh. Well. It creates this feeling of, like, fighting against an enemy that you can't even predict or see. All of these scenes and angles are great. Super contrasty. Almost Kawajiri-y. Okay, bye. Gross. 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 The Demon's Cry chapter. Nice. Surrounded by monsters in art and monsters in reality, huh? Oh, is that Nobunaga? Having bad dreams there, buddy? That's weird. What are you having bad dreams about? Everything's going great. You just sold your soul to the demons. Terror. I can't leave it to them. Paranoia? So we finally see inside Ranmaru's head. The eyes in the walls. Good argument. Idiot. God, I hate this guy. Such a dork. So Ranmaru is like the spookier evil. He's a little more sinister. The Tensho era Iga Rivolto. Oh, here, it's our main character. Oh, hey, ha. Hey, that's way better. We start off with actual, like, powers. The blade of great power, you know? It's like the whole point. Oh, sweet. Let's go. Super sweet. Oh, wow. Wow, wow, wow. These are great. Oh, these are great. Oh, it's great. Okay. This looks awesome. Oh, that looked awesome. Just riding up. That looked great. Hi. Hey, thanks, Halberd boy. Is there a limit on it? She's panting. Hmm? I'm a little worried. Oh, they've got guns. That's not fair. That's not fair at all. Come on, guys. Supposed to fight with honor. And a really hard time firing matchlocks. Oh, have we been betrayed? There certainly could be. Oh! Yeah, there's probably an informant. Tension, 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 tension. Whoa. Oh, whipping through the... What? 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 That's awesome looking. It just keeps going. Wow. Odore. Uh-oh, don't get hypnotized. Wow, that was super cool. Super cool smoke effects turning into the face. That was really cool. Okay, the whole ninja fight sequence, the dudes jumping out of the ground and the running past and the big chops and slices. It was really great. Who are you? Rocky? It's Rocky from Claymore. Hmm? Or are these the informants? Maybe. Oh, what? Ugh. It's a nice monster. This is all mental torture, isn't it? Yeah, this is all psychological. Ah! This is the hypnotism. Oh man, you've been uh there he is. Almost. That's a weird sword. Let's go. Oh! So many more little creative slices and cuts and slashes and things. Oh, buddy. Oh no. Oh, that's really cruel. No. Oh. Just looks like Kikyo. So he's also destined to die horribly. Weird. Yeah, weird. What? Is also destined to die horribly because she looks the same. It's just this. If you happen to look like this, you will die horribly. Again, the scene transitions feel a little weird. How do we get here from there? This guy. Maybe he's gonna die horribly too. Seems like you've been betrayed. Uh-oh. Who could the traitor be? I'll bet it's the dude in the green shirt. No. It might have been, we had the dude who was able to do mental powers. Whoa! That's a big boat! Oh, wow. An effective siege. Cool. Cool intricacies. Oh. Come here, come here. That was really cool. Hey. Oh. What are those? Ugh. Ah, indeed. Another one of the 7. Oh, it's that guy. Who is he? You're gonna tell me? His name is Yolan. Is he now? Oh? Pup! Go on. Alright, who the hell is Ryoan? What does he want? Man, you shouldn't trust this kid. Masago the Silk Spinner. We got a spider boy. Ugh. Is that a roar of approval? Inhuman things live inside Iga. I don't understand the logic there, but okay. We're at war, full war. Damn. Flush them out with fire and take them down with bullets. Damn. End of an era. Oh, same cut. Same with the cut of the rifleman switching out. Ah. One survivor. Oh, hi. So dead! So weird. Okay. Okay. That sounds great. Yeah, it seems like somebody's betrayed us. Maybe it's more just spying like that. Hmm. Oh, and also was predicted that the comet would be there and that they would help us. So, I mean, it's a pretty straightforward prediction. Yeah, I'm buying. I'll buy it. Sure. Then we'll have faith in our brethren, the Koga. Yeah, then who was it? Huh. Actually, I do think it was you. I said so. I said so before. Yes, actually, Mr. Green Shirt. Fair. Don't split the party, bro. Don't split the party, bro. Wow. Whoa, nothing. Drama. Oh, hi. Not Kikyo. Kaio. Why do you look exactly like this Kikyo lady? Oh. And as a facsimile of somebody that he cared about before, right? See, it's like a... Yeah, fuck you, man. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Sorry. Oh, no! Oh, no! Well. You just gonna wash your hands of this? You're gonna get dead, kid. Well, don't get killed, kid. He might get killed. I guess he's not a traitor, given that he's going to go fight for his life. Some fun play with light and shadow throughout this episode. Oh? What does that mean? Moths to a flame. Our way will live on? Oh, more lore? Tell me more about the lore. And I believe that it is. And I believe that it does. That sounds right. The Yotoden. Now we hold our line, huh? Sakondono! You're gonna run into something spooky! Maybe the Weaver one, the Web Weaver one. Maybe the Harp one. I don't know. Sorry. Very cool. Ah! It's an illusion, bro! It's the harp guy. Oh, wow! That was great! Oh my god! Hard cut. Totally unclear sequence into hard cut to fighting. Okay, cool. We're still right where we were. But I thought they would never. I thought they would never. Damn. Shink. Burn it all. Oh! Oh my god! Oh! That's fun to wake up to. Holy macaroni. Oh! Good dreams. Oh, is good, Mr. Old Boy gonna just show up? And drive them away? How convenient. Thanks, bro. Yeah, that's gotta be him. Who else? Yeah. Oh! 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 Oh, wow! Special sword. Oh, straight through! Yeah! Yeah! God, so many guts. Ugh. Hey, good job, man. The pretense of coolness. Called out so hard. It's one or the other. Hit me. Hmm. The meaning of shadow. I'm intrigued by that. It's, not very clear, but I'm intrigued by it. Oh boy. Look upon his works. Oh, hey, kid, he's alive, kind of. Huh? Oh! Oh, got him in the back, too! Whoa! Really, Kaio? What? Oh, it's not Kaio-san! Oh, shit, what the fuck? Oh, no, I didn't deduce that. Masako the silk spitter. How was I gonna know? Oh, she's crying. Oh, it's worse. Oh, a brutal death indeed. Worse than worse. Force you to betray. No, no, she wasn't a traitor. Yeah, it's different. Kill that motherfucker. Oh, okay. Get out of here. We'll kill it, I guess. Oh, he just lives in her back? This is not going to work. But it's awesome. Did we do it? No. Oh! Oh! That's ridiculous. Fucking awesome. You're gonna victim blame Kaio? Come on, man. It's not her fault. Oh! Oh, wow. Okay. Self-sacrifice death? That's not gonna do it. It's just gonna get worse. Did that free her from the thing that's stuck inside her back? I don't think so, man. What? How did that... That was a cool pullout, but... Ah! You can't get tempted by that. Yeah, pull the blade. Now, that monster I have seen in a Sakuga cut that I assume is coming up soon. You'll kill him too, yeah. What are you gonna do? Yeah. Probably the move. The whole time has been stuck in this bullshit. Oh, with sheer force of will, let's go, dude. It's so upbeat. It's so upbeat. Oh, here we go. I've seen this. Mm. Oh, that. I love that. Ah, shit. Is it over? Cling. Yeah, and Kaio. Both. Why did she call him brother? Damn. 2 months of ongoing war, huh? We have to... Yep. We have to re-meet up with him. Oh, that's a cool visualization. Ha 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 ha. More evil enemies continue. Also, the harpist guy still exists, right? That fucker's still out there? Alright, we'll skip the ED play out. Boom. Let me just check, make sure there's nothing here. I don't think there is. There is not. Okay. I think this was fun. I like this episode better than the first one. It still has a lot of the same faults in a lot of ways. But I think the strong points in this episode are stronger than the episode before it. So the faults are scene transitions are really jarring throughout the episode. It loses continuity by snapping back and forth between scenes. There was one sequence where we had a pretty dramatic scene that cut straight into battle, and it's just sort of jarring. It's just sort of shocking, and unclear, or like a psychological fuckery going on inside of the mind of one of the characters. And then we just sort of cut away from that, and we're in war, and that's weird. It doesn't flow super well. It doesn't have that smoothness to it. Again, it's like there are some rough edges that could be sanded off to make the whole thing feel a lot better and flow a lot better narratively. And a part of that is the way that we do the exposition. We get a bunch of characters sitting around in a room having a conversation with each other. I think that's a reasonable way to do exposition, having this dialogue about decision making. What should they do as the war approaches? I like that in particular because it's coming from the perspectives of each of the characters. And if you do it really well, I think you have each of the characters bring their own flawed perspective to the situation, to the scenario. It's like each character sees, they've betrayed us. No way they would betray us. They're my family. And you get all these different perspectives and stuff. And that becomes an interesting way of doing exposition that's less clear to us. But it's the movement between scenes, really, that I find lacking. I find there's something missing in that switching between scenes. The individual scenes and sequences I think are really cool. This whole opening sequence is so dark and spooky and fun. Particularly, I like the moment when they blow the lights out. Halt. And we do all this work with like eyes darting back and forth, right? And calm and quiet and subtle quick movements. And then the pulling open of the blade just a little bit, ching, is just the first light that we see in the scene. I think we get it here just a moment later. Shing, right? And it, ting, sends a beam of light. Outlines, darkness. It's cool. And then there are all of these really lovely angles and shots and chopped up. They're like manga panels with weird shapes to them, and the shape of the manga panel, just like in manga, creates dynamism, it creates flow, it creates a feeling and stuff, and so doing that throughout with these dark light, high contrast frames creates some awesomeness, and then straight into some absolute brutality and some murderous moth people. I think these are different than the host of Oboro that we saw before. Those were all crow-like. They might be the same creatures or intended to be, but they feel very different. They feel like moths. And so even the imagery that we get later of the moth to the flame felt like it was evocative of those. There's some rhyming throughout. There's some maybe intentional, maybe unintentional, but some bits and bobs. A lot of bodies slumping in interesting ways, characters, death reactions, stuff like this. And again, made super dynamic by the background framing, by the light through everything, by the lack of detail, by the darkness, the huge negative empty space. It's cool. You're fighting against an enemy that's unseen and unseeable, that you can't predict, and then they're gone into the wind, right? I really like that. I like the music too, even if it feels a little bit repetitive. I think it ends up being really nice. And I like this, that we get some intriguing back and forth between Oda Nobunaga and Ranmaru, who it turns out has a bit of an attitude toward his boss. He's not what I thought before, which was the member of the squad that's not just a sycophant, but is instead consciously choosing to follow Oda Nobunaga and likes the evil shit that he's into. Instead, he actually really looks down on him, and he's sort of arrogant and contemptuous and like, this fool, he doesn't even understand what's going on. And that's pretty interesting, and we'll see if that relationship turns into a hoisted by his own petard in either direction, if that arrogance comes to bear. I kind of hope that it does. I think that would be narratively fulfilling if it were to. I also really like, it's a weird thing to say, but the patterns and drawings and art that adorns all the walls of Oda Nobunaga's rooms and houses and castles and stuff all becomes sinister in this darkness. As we pass by it, it's eyes looking out from the walls at you. It's dragons and monsters seething in the darkness, just like the darkness that we had moments ago as they fought those weird hosts of Oboro. But this is his home. It's what he's made alliances with, and it's the darkness that consumes him too. That's good. I think that's cool. I think it's a cool idea. He looks so dorky with that mustache, though. War! Huh. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. I think this cut is great. It does something that I kind of hoped that we would do really early in the first episode, and I think that it should be done really early in the show. If you've got a cool show about cool sorcery magic swords, show off the fucking magic sword and do it soon. Do it early. Do it as soon as you can. Because then that's what we're here for, and we want to see it. And it's good. It's very cool. And it's beyond being very cool. The cut is great. The light effects are great. I really like them. Xinghua. And then the expressions as these characters are blown back, especially once his mouth opens. You get this stretched feeling from all the line work in there, and the eyes become bulging and large, and it reaches a breaking point, and then it's cut to somewhere else. I think this is rad. I think it's super cool. And we follow it up with some sequences of like large scale, lots of moving characters combat. The way that these burst up from the ground is awesome. They've got a lot of cool momentum to them and weightiness. Pew. It really evokes that full ninja vibe. They run past her as she pants, having used the Sword of Sorcery. And more of the same sort of thing. Really dynamic, really expressive, even without showing the eyes. Evocative, expressive, potent. And then fairly interestingly choreographed too, so that it's a cool back and forth and a cool battle. And then almost like tapestry or painting-y or scroll-esque. It's rad. And bam! Your boy is here to watch your back. And guns are here to stop your advance completely. So, we wander around. More ninjas. Some weird hallucination stuff. I think this scene where she whips the blade out and it sort of spirals around her. It's the same blade, right? Or is it not? No, it's not actually. So the rope knife is separate and is a different tool. I thought in my mind, my brain went, the Sword of Sorcery is capable of doing all this stuff. You whip out the Sword of Sorcery and just turns into a rope knife. Or like a magical transforming weapon sort of thing. That's not what's going on. It's a separate ninja tool that she's got with her. I see. I thought that what was going on was like we were seeing the power of it, like whipping of wind or something, and it was because of the rain that we were able to see the outline of it, but that's not the case. It's actually the strand itself. So it's more artistic license to do it this way and to make it glow and such. Still, I think it looks gorgeous. I think the momentum, I think that looks gorgeous. And that too, boom. The timing on that explosion is great. And then this is one of the top 3 cuts in the episode. The smoke as it moves by is like ink in water. It's really cool, and the background fades out. It's gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous looking. Any bit of this, it still works for me as art. Like flowers or ink clouds or something. But then the whole thing in motion is just kind of beyond belief. And then you take that a layer further, and when we cut back, it starts to morph and shape itself. Whoa. Become a believable mask of a face that shifts and billows past and woof into another one and becomes eyebrows and mouthy bits and shadowed eyes again. Spectacular. And then horrible hallucinations hit. And we burn everything. It goes all bad. Introduce this character who I guess I'm going to care about. I think this is all hallucination territory. These are some creepy monsters. It's great. Ah, ah, ah. Just hallucination. And he's just out. Mr. Heart Guy. Bye. Oh, the slice. Okay. Shing. Zv. The flashes of the background. Flash, 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 flash. And then flashes of the sword. Flash, flash, flash. The body falls backward. Huh? And then into smoke. I love that. So that stuff really shines to me. And so far outshines all of the characters sitting around talking or sort of walking from place to place or just establishing shots and whatnot. The more boring stuff in the episode gets totally outshone by these brilliant flashes of gorgeous animation. Oh, just an identical character. Destined, it turns out, to die in an identical way. Not really. In a much weirder, maybe much worse way. The horrors of war we do not shy away from. Ryoma, I forget his name. He's interesting. Very interesting. Lots of great animation of just characters running around. Minor characters, ninja, stuff like that. Falling over, getting shot by stuff. Death rattles, etc. It's pretty cool. And a lot of relatively boring conversations, too. Unfortunately. But they're necessary for emotional stakes and background and stuff. Okay. Moving forward just a little bit. Oh, these monsters. Yep, those are creepy. Real creepy. So we get an argument back and forth. You act cool, but doubts about the battle rage through you. So if you're so worried about the apprentice ninja, why don't you stay and fight alongside him? Well, I would have just died a useless death. And so he says, well, that's a good argument, so why don't you trust your own argument? I like this. I think this is a good interplay between the characters. It's the first one that really landed for me, I think. Because it makes sense, but it's also emotionally potent. And I think a good set of arguments from this monk. So you act real cool, but really you doubt. And you're worried about this this apprentice who you left behind. So why don't you go and fight with him? Well, if I did go and fight with him, I would just die. Okay? So why can't you even accept your own argument? Because you're still racked by the guilt and the stuff. If that were a good enough argument, then it would just you'd assume it would just wipe your mind of the concern. You've made your choice and you'll stick with it. So why won't you? Why are you racked by doubt? That's not the path of enlightenment. Something like that. A wise decision. Then why don't you trust yourself? And he brushes it off. I have no interest in arguing philosophy with monks. Fine, very, very well, but I'll leave you with one piece of advice. One of the principles of what a shadow is, something that never shows itself, something without form, something shapeless, something that can't be seen. That is your heart. But if you have doubts in your heart, then you are simply an infant lost in the darkness. You're not the darkness itself. You're not the shadow itself. You haven't identified with it. You haven't incorporated it. And so you're a child lost within your own darkness. You can't live in a heart filled with doubt. Or it's not your heart. Something like that. Because it's the heart of... That is your heart. Something shapeless, something that can't be seen. That's what shadow is. And it's you. So if you're not stuck with it, if you're not stuck to it, if you're not aligned with it, you're wandering. I like that. I like that. If the justification, it'll just cause me meaningless suffering or death, is good enough, then it's good enough because it outweighs the suffering that you might be able to prevent by going and being there. And if that argument doesn't work for you, then you are misaligned with your own ability to be dark. To be somewhat serious. Something like that. Either way, I like it. I still haven't achieved enlightenment in one way. I may be lost, but I know which path I must tread. And he walks forward. I like it. I like it. All right, we get to wander through the horrors of this place. We find that, indeed, his apprentice has been struck blind. And in the moment that we pick him up, he is struck in the back by a spear from Kyodono. A great betrayal, but it turns out it's a creepy monster. Hey, didn't you know it was me? No, motherfucker. How was I gonna know that it was you? I like that there's this distinction, too. In other words, the traitor was Kaio. No, she was just being used. And again, we get that empathy from Ionosuke, from Ayame. There's still something that the two of you must do, so we will take care of this thing ourselves. No chance. Oh my god. They all do this. This is the funniest shit. Pa! All their heads fucking explode. He just... Boom! Eyeballs go flying. Brain pieces. Skull shards. Good gravy. These are... And each of them has like a moment of full regret too. Like they don't just, it's not just instant. It feels instant, but it's not. There's a moment of expression on their faces where they know what's about to happen. I don't feel so good. Gross. All fall down. Pow. Nani? He goes for it too, and just gets powed midair. Full body explode, blam! But he was moving for it. What is that thing in the background that goes whoosh? Oh, I don't even know. It's like the core of his body. Ugh. Balls of a shot of blah, blah, blah. Yeah, it's real pretty, but it's not gonna be so good. I really liked this pull out. So the way that the camera shifts here, it shifts really quickly, but it immediately gives a feeling of size and scale to me. From here, whoosh, whoom. Yeah. It's really creepy, too. Very imaginatively creepy, not the classic sort of monster that I would expect. We get a good emotional tie-in for him as he kills a person who looks exactly like a person he's really cared about and who he was going to care about, just like in the previous episode. It's like this growth of care into gotta murder that person, gotta kill them, because what else are you gonna do? And then it flails around and thrashes a bunch, and it gets all... And we get this crazy explosion, and insane debris work. Awesome. Just things becoming sticks. I think this is the coolest part. I love the bit of visible smoke that arcs around the top of the explosion ball and spins around it. I love it. I think it's really cool looking, and I want to use it. And by use it, I mean I'm going to take that, and that's going to be a part of the way that I draw explosions as I move forward, or draw smoke things and stuff. Because I really like it. It sticks in my mind. That bit of smoke that spirals around it gives it so much shape and form. Gives it shape and form and size and scale. It anchors it in my mind. It lets it look the way that it is. It lets me see it. You know, if it's just a ball of light that grows, that's fine. That's one thing. But it's hard to tell the distance and the scope and the scale of it. When you've got this cloud of debris that goes by, it anchors it in space. It makes it three-dimensional. It locks it in some way. And then you've got all this crackling lightning all around. Blows past, and all the debris is shattering against Ionosuke's bubble of safety. We find out that the war goes on, the comet rages past and returns toward the sun, and we move toward something like a finale for the endeavors of Oda Nobunaga to take over Japan, and the 3 warrior ninjas who, now having split ways, will fight against it. And again sacrifice the same damn pretty girl over and 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 over. Are we gonna get? Is that gonna happen in the 3rd episode? See, if that happens in the 3rd episode, then we'll be catching on to the silliness. Be like, this character looks just like those other 2 characters who've died horrible, miserable deaths at the hands of weird monster creatures. I think we should trust her and maybe form a romantic, at least an implication with her, so that it'll feel narratively satisfying and really sad when she dies. Let's do it. I hope deeply that doesn't happen in the 3rd episode, because that would be a little bit on the nose, a little bit too straightforward. But twice I'm fine with. Twice is silly and interesting. Although, I guess maybe if there's a justification for it, maybe if it's explained that there will be like 3 maidens with the same faces who will blah, 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 and that's part of the legend, then that'll be fine. But mostly I recoil from the idea of using the same plot device 3 times. Two times is like, it's right on the edge. 3 times the same plot device? Yeah. It was the most praiseworthy thing about the 1st episode. I praised it at the beginning of this discussion, was I thought the dramatic storytelling was good. We introduced this character. She dies after this unrequited love, impossible star-crossed love thing happens, and gets dead in a satisfyingly self-sacrificing and sad and somber sort of way. And then we do it again, and I start to narrow my eyes a little bit. What's going on here? Do we only have one? We only have one trick in the bag of tricks? No, I think there will be more. I want to know what happens with Ranmaru and Oda Nobunaga. I wonder what will happen with our split party now that Mr. Sword Boy, Mr. Pretense of Coolness, has wandered off on his own, given the death of his apprentice. Although he didn't even go back and find out about that death of the apprentice. Doesn't know. Just assumes. And I'm curious to see if there'll be any more fun cuts. Especially that cool smoke stuff and the really neat. All right, rad. Thanks for watching. See you next week for more Retro Monday OVAdrive and the finale of Sengoku Kitan Yotoden. Thanks for watching. Peace.